this is Tracy Chen and I'm back with another episode of My Great Australian Dream. Today we're going to talk about what your visa options are if your visa is about to expire in Australia. This is only for people who hold a temporary visa in Australia. If you're a permanent visa holder, this doesn't apply to you. Your visa is not going to expire. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an immigration lawyer based in Australia. We have immigration lawyers and agents based in basically every state in Australia. Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane. If you want to get in contact with myself or one of our fantastic lawyers, feel free to contact us in the link below. Now, there's lots of different visa options, so let's talk about them and talk about some of the things to look out for if you're looking to apply for that visa. First of all, let's just say you're in Australia on a tourist visa. First of all, you need to look at your tourist visa. What does it say? Is it multiple entries? When does it expire? And is there a no further stay condition on it? So let's just say you've been granted a tourist visa to Australia for 12 months. It will usually say multiple entries, so you can come in and out of Australia, but the maximum stay is 3 months. And let's just say there isn't an 8503 condition, the no further stay. What you could do is you could leave Australia and come back and then activate your tourist visa again and stay for 3 months at a time. I previously had a client who had a 3-year tourist visa to Australia, I think, and she had a partner here in Australia and she kept coming in and out. So she was staying for 3 months, leaving, going to Fiji and then coming back. Now that's okay a few times, but she kept going. And I think it was in the maybe 4th trip she came to Australia and she was actually stopped by immigration and they took her phone and they looked at her phone. Now she had been helping her partner with his business. In her phone there were lots of things like orders and things like that. So they cancelled her visa because they were saying that she was actually working here in Australia. So it's just something to be very careful of. Don't fly in and out too much because they're going to be sus and think that you're actually working here in Australia. Now let's say for example you've come to Australia, you're staying for 3 months, then you just love it here and you want to stay for a little bit longer. You can look at applying for different visa options. The main one would probably be student visa. Maybe if you're lucky you get an employer to sponsor you and everything works out before then, potentially a temporary skilled shortage 482 visa. So you can lodge that new visa as long as there's not a no further stay condition on your current tourist visa. However, do remember when you lodge your visa, you'll get a bridging visa A and you can stay in Australia until that new student visa or 482 visa is actually granted. But the issue is that bridging visa A usually doesn't come with work rights. So do be very careful of that. Secondly, if you currently hold a student visa in Australia and you're like, panic, my student visa is expiring, what can I apply for? First of all, remember the student visa does come with work rights, so that's a good thing. So some people are eligible for the postgraduate or graduate work 485 visa. So depending on the course you studied and if you meet the Australian study requirements and the level of your study, you might be eligible for the 485 visa. So then, great, problem solved. However, in some cases, you might not be eligible for the 485 visa because you studied a certificate 3 or 4 that doesn't lead to a trade qualification. Make sure you get advice on this. So in that case, if your student visa is about to expire within 90 days, as of today, the 15th of June 2023, you could still apply for a 408 COVID visa. Now again, please get proper advice before you do this, but it's definitely one of the options. The other option is to apply for another student visa. But obviously you'll need a COE and a confirmation of enrollment, and there's other things you need to look into, like proving that you're a genuine temporary entrant and those kind of things. Next, if your 485 visa is about to expire, your temporary graduate 485 visa. Now remember, there's a couple of different streams of this. There's a graduate work stream, there's the post-study work stream, there's a number of different streams. So depending on the location of your studies, you can see if you're eligible for the regional second 485 visa extension. You can also see if you're eligible for the 2-year 408 visa. That is for the cohort of people who held a 485 visa in Australia during COVID. If your 485 visa is about to expire before the 1st of July 2023, if you lodge a 408 visa now, you should get 2 years. Now I've done an extensive video on that, so you'll be able to see that. So check that video out. Now if your visa expires after the 1st of July 2023, your 485 visa, you can check the eligible list of qualifications. If you have a qualification on there, you may just get an automatic extension for 1 or 2 years, or 2 or 3 years or something like that. I've done extensive videos on this, so you guys can check that out too. Or if you don't qualify for either, then you can still, as of today, the 15th of June 2023, apply for a COVID 408 visa, and you should get 1 year. Otherwise, if by the time you're watching this visa and the COVID 408 visa has been removed, you can look at applying for another student student visa if you don't have any other options. But also remember, you'll need to check that you meet the student visa genuine temporary entrant requirements. Otherwise, if you've got enough work experience, you can look at applying for a temporary skills shortage 482 visa, or that's why during the 485, it is your prime time, if you want to stay here, to work towards your permanent residency or 491 visa, which is still gives you a pathway to permanent residency. That will come down to what you study, how much work experience you have, points you can score. Again, I've done extensive videos on that, so go check it out. If you're starting your 485 visa and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do in 2 or 3 years time when my visa is about to expire? Definitely look at the migration pathways for you to stay here permanently. I'll drop some links below. Next, if your 40 COVID visa is about to expire. Now, a lot of people apply for the 40 COVID visa in the last couple of years because it's just an option. If it's about to expire, as of today, 15th of June 2023, if your COVID visa is about to expire within the next 90 days and you don't have any other visa options, the COVID visa still exists, temporary activity, pandemic event, so you can lodge another 408 COVID visa. If you hold a temporary skill shortage 482 visa, so you're being sponsored by your employer, you have a couple of options. You may be able to extend your 482 visa again, so your employer will lodge another one. Otherwise, you could look at the 186 visa under the temporary resident transition stream as long as you qualify for it. They are saying by the end of the year, occupations on the regional occupation list, short-term occupation list will be eligible for the 186 visa. Everyone will have access to that pathway. Again, if you want to find out more about that, I've done extensive videos on that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed that video, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with people who need it. I'll see you guys in the next video.